All right, we are live. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our second PEO presentation of AYP's webinar series on Southeast Asian business expansion anytime, anywhere with our PEO or EOR. My name is Dan and I'll be your facilitator for today. Well, while we are waiting for most of our audience to come in into our room, I would like to ask some questions for us to know you better. You can respond via poll that I will be creating. Okay, so here is the first question. I would like to know, which country are you from? Are you from Singapore, Malaysia, India, Australia, United States, Japan, Hong Kong, or United Kingdom? Okay, can see most of you guys scattered around the world. We have in US, China, United Kingdom, and others as well. Okay, giving you more time. All right, I'm ending the poll now at 3, 2, 1. And here are the results. So the majority of our audience right now are from China, followed by the United States and United Kingdom and other countries. Welcome, guys, to our webinar. Please enjoy our presentation later on. And I'm pretty sure that you will learn something new, or you will learn, or you will know better how the PE works in Malaysia. All right. So, next question. I would like to know, which department are you from? Are you from the management, human resource, payroll, finance, or others? Okay, I can see some of you guys are from the management, also with a payroll. Okay. All right, I'm ending now the poll at 3, 2, 1. Okay, and here are the results. So most of you guys, or the majority of our audience, are from the management team, which is 67%, and payroll, which is 30%. Thank you so much, guys. So next question, I would like to know, what are the challenges that you have, or which are the top three most challenging HR functions to manage? So you can choose from HR planning, payroll and tax administration, recruitment, HR operation and compliance, employee benefits, mobility and relocation, compensation and claims, or work pass management. All right, I can see most of you guys having difficulties or challenges in different aspects on our HR process. Okay, and do the poll now. 3, 2, 1. And the majority is work pass management, followed by the payroll and tax administration. And also, we have challenges with HR operations and compliance, also with the employee benefits and mobility and relocation. All right, I just want to share with you guys with this research. It is based on a report research by Society of Human Resource Management, also known as SHRM. So top of the list, which is rank one, which is right now that we're having difficulties, is the recruitment. It is rated at 69%, followed by the HR planning, which is 44% based on the survey, and HR operations and compliance, which ranked third, and the ratio is 48%. But after 10 years, since we have this challenges right now or pandemic uh, with COVID-19, after 10 years, it will change. The HR operations and compliance will be ranked at first place, and the percentage will be grow as 48%. Okay, so that is based on the research from Society of Human Resource Management. Okay, next question is, which do you think will be the most challenging for businesses entering the Southeast Asia market? This is a single choice, so you can choose from HR and payroll operations, different legal systems, raising capital and funding, unique business culture, workplace management, local competition, supply chains and risk, operational risk with hiring staff. All right, you can choose from our poll. I can see there is different legal system. Okay. All right, I'm ending the poll now at three, two, one. All right, so the majority that we are having most challenging for the businesses entering the Southeast Asia market is different legal system. And I believe the PEO will help you out with this challenge. And last question is, I would like to know, how much do you understand about the PEO? Is it very well? You very know well how the PEO works, or average? You've learned for it, or you've heard of it, or totally no idea. And this is the best opportunity for you to understand how the PEO works in Malaysia. Okay, I'm ending the poll now at three, two, one. Okay, the majority is average, and we have also no idea. Thank you so much, guys, for joining our webinar. And I'm pretty sure that you will learn more, or you will understand better how the PU works in the country of Malaysia. Okay, so I can see most of our audience are already here in our room. Okay, let me introduce myself again. My name is Dan, and I'll be your facilitator for today. And once again, welcome everyone to our second PEO presentation of AYP webinar series on Southeast Asian business expansion anytime, anywhere with our PEO or EOR. So for today's topic is a high-speed entry into country Malaysia with our PEO and EOR. We'll be recovering, or you will learn, what is PEO. And also, we will look into some details on how it can help your businesses. So before we move for today's presentation, I would like to clear some housekeeping issues quickly, okay? As a matter of introduction, this webinar series has been prepared by our company, AYP Group. We are an HR tech and services company, and our headquarters is located in Singapore. We are very well positioned with a regional presence that continues to grow in ASEAN region, particularly across Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, and Hong Kong. Moving on, as a disclaimer, this webinar series is intended to share with our audience some basic knowledge on PO services and how it can help your businesses enter into other countries' markets. It is not intended to convey any professional advice. You may, however, contact AYP Group directly if you are looking for more in-depth information or tailored advice for your needs. Well, as of today's presentation, we are focusing on PEO. We will avoid any sidetracking into unrelated HR issues. However, if you have any questions regarding payroll services, you may look at our previous webinar series at ASEAN's Payroll. At the end of this presentation or session, we will be having a short question and answer. Please use the Q&A feature at any time during this webinar session to ask your question. It is located at the bottom of your screen or Zoom screen, and it says Q&A. And also, you may like the questions that you wanted most so that it will appear on the top as the popular question. You, so you don't have to wait until the end of the presentation just to ask your question. Please feel free to ask your question anytime. And for the recordings of this webinar will be made available after the session as well. If anyone is experiencing any technical difficulties during this webinar, please drop us a note via chat function. It is also located at the bottom of our Zoom or bottom of our screen. Okay, so we are done with the disclaimer. Let's proceed now with our presentation. So for today's presentation, it has been prepared by our regional PEO team. Our speaker is Zoe, who is our AYP Group's HR consultant. Zoe possesses in-depth knowledge of Singapore, Malaysia, and Hong Kong human resource policies, where she helps to consult new PEO clients, take charge of onboarding for new PEO clients, and also contractors. She also secures connections. And lastly, new customer support. All right, without further ado, I will hand this over to Zoe to share with you for today's presentation. Zoe, I'm giving you the room right now or the floor. And for our audience, please feel free to send us your question and enjoy our presentation. Zoe, the floor is yours.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Zoe and I'll be a presenter for today's webinar series. As you know, AYP does provide HR services in different Asian countries. Now I'll be sharing with you more on PEO service in Malaysia. Let's look at the table of contents. I'll begin by PEO definition, how it works, benefits of using the service, and scope service. Second, understanding Malaysia's contract types, labor laws, and employee benefits. Third, it will be AYP PEO's customer success story. And fourth, the returns of investment of using a PEO. So what is PEO? EOR? If you are considering expanding your business to another country, you may have considered setting up a foreign company in your target location. However, for many companies, there is a more affordable, faster, and less stressful way of hiring employees in a compliant manner in another country. That solution is using a professional employer organization or employment of record. PEO EOR is a company that manages human resource outsourcing and other administrative tasks for client companies. So how does PEO work? A professional employer organization is a business model in which the PEO and your company enter into a co-employment agreement. Your company enters into an agreement with the PEO to establish a three-way relationship between you, your employees, and the PEO. By doing so, this enables the PEO to provide your company with services in form of human resource consulting, payroll processing and benefits administrating, and employer compliance assisting. In the meantime, your company can continue to determine the direction, employees' compensation, and conduct employees' performance review. Now, I'd like to move on and discuss what benefits by using PEO service. The goal of the PEO is to be your partner in increasing your organization profitability by allowing you to ensure a quick and compliant entry to new market. Not to spend so much time dealing with human resource issues directly, and hot savings compared to entity setup. And because PEO is familiar with local laws, so they can help keep the business in compliance and avoid bureaucratic hassles. This also frees up time for the host business to focus on operations and increase productivity. As the legal employer, the PEO is usually responsible for drafting and maintaining employment contracts, providing local group insurance coverage for employees and their dependents, onboarding process, managing of payroll, salary payment and statutory contributions, staying updated on local labor laws and regulations, and also providing ongoing day-to-day HR support. At this point, I'd like to turn to understand more about Malaysia's contract types, labor laws, and employee benefits. Any employment in Malaysia which lasts more than 1 month must be formalized through a written contract. Two of common employment contracts used in Malaysia are permanent and fixed-term contracts. Permanent employment contracts apply to employees who work regular hours. The contracts are ongoing until terminated by either the employer or employee. Employees on these contracts are entitled to the full range of statutory employment rights. How about fixed-term contracts? Fixed-term contract give a set end date, for example, 6 months or 1 year. It will terminate itself when it expires, and the contract can be extended with agreement. And if an employee's fixed-term contract is renewed multiple times, then the Malaysian courts may consider that employee as a permanent employee in case of dismissal. Fixed-term employees are protected and have the same rights as permanent employees. Employment law in Malaysia is generally governed by the Employment Act 1955. The protection under the Employment Act only applies to these categories of employees. Those employees whose monthly salary is less than 2,000 ringgits, and employees who's employed in manual work and their monthly salary is more than 2,000 ringgits. So how about employees who do not fall under the Malaysian Employment Act? These employees who will be governed by the terms of their contract of employment, subject to any other applicable statutory requirements, like minimum retirement age, EPF, or social contributions. So the contract of employment shall not contain any conditions that restrict rights of employees. It must contain a provisions of its termination. And the contract of employment should include key employment terms like job title, wages and details of all the payments, normal working hours, notice period prior to termination, and requirement of confidentiality and whether requirement is need to work overtime, holiday and leave entitlements, the annual leave and medical leave, other benefits if any, and probationary period, also requirement to comply with company's rules and penalties for misconduct. Let's move to employees' benefits. Firstly, it will be payment of work. For any overtime work carried out, the employees shall be paid at the rate not less than 1.5 times his hourly rate of pay. An employee who is paid at a monthly rate and works on a rest day, he will be entitled to 1/2 day wages if the duration does not exceed half the normal hours of work. And if the duration is more than half, but which does not exceed the normal hours of work, the employee will be entitled 1 day wages. Overtime work performed on a rest day, an employee will be paid not less than 2 times the hourly rate of pay. An employee may be required by his employer to work on any paid holidays, and that employee will be entitled to 2 days wages at the ordinary rate of pay. for any overtime work carried out by the employee. He shall be paid not less than 3 times his hourly rate of pay. Employees can be entitled to paid annual leave and medical leave in the following manner. With less than 2 years of service, employees will be entitled 8 days of annual leave and 14 days of medical leave. With 2 or more but less than 5 years of service, so the employee will be entitled 12 days of annual leave and 18 days of medical leave. With over 5 years of service, the employee will be entitled 16 days of annual leave and 22 days of medical leave. Every employee shall be entitled not less than 10 days of the public holidays, 4 of which shall be the National Day, the birthday of the King, the birthday of the Sultans or Governor, and the Workers' Day. Any employees whose contract of service is terminated or he is laid off by his employer, he will be entitled to the payment by the employer of severance benefits. The benefits payment shall not be less than 10 days' wages if the employee has been employed for the period of less than 2 years. And the benefits payment shall not be less than 15 days' wages if the employee has been employed for 2 years or more but less than 5 years. The benefits payment shall not be less than 20 days' wages if the employee has been employed for 5 years or more. Any terminations or layoff benefits payment payable shall be paid by the employer to the employee not later than 7 days after the relevant day. Under Malaysia's labor law, there are few important benefits that employer must provide once starting getting people to work for them. There are Employees Provident Fund, Social Security Organization, and Employment Insurance System. Now, I'll share with you about AYP customer success story and the returns of investment of using PEO service. Usually, when new clients reach out to us for consulting of their expansion plan, most of them had the similar concerns on how to expand business if they did not have legal entity, how to deal with the complex process of the payroll system and mandatory benefits and tax issue. And one of the biggest challenges for the client companies was understand the local custom, culture, and legal requirements. Besides that, for employees, there would be a number of inquiries when joining us, such as who could support them and explain on details of employment contracts, how to submit expense claims or apply for leave, or what kind of benefits they would be entitled, like monthly allowance and health insurance coverage for themselves and their dependents. So what AYP resolved those concerns? For client companies, by partnering with us, the clients could reach out to available resource quicker because we already have our own established resource in that market, which is Malaysia. As a co-employer, we can act on behalf of all the client needs in the expansion process. Again, this all means more time for the client to focus on operations. And in the meantime, AYP will take care of foreign day-to-day administrations and compliance needs. Other than that, we provide HR and payroll service with a simple and straightforward fee. We also conduct customer satisfaction survey quarterly. The purpose of the survey is to help us understand what our customers feel about the customer service that we have been providing to them. So what about employees? How we support them as an employment of records. We provide a high level of support. We were willing to give them anytime assistant, such as we can spend 45 minutes or 1 hour to explain every single terms and conditions of the employment contract. We provide access to a user-friendly HR management system, which is Just Talent, where employees can apply for leave, submit expense claims, and retrieve their payslip. With PEO sponsored benefits plans, our employees had access a wider variety of benefits. This includes medical insurance, life insurance, and travel insurance. Last but not least, AYP had to conduct employee PEO feedback surveys. Employees' feedback would enable us to know where our services have improved or fallen short, so to provide better communications and working experience. So for more than 10 years of experience on PEO EOR service, we have different clients in different industries like IT service and solutions, engineering and constructions, biotech and pharmaceuticals, mobile telecommunications, climate and energy. We have helped more than 300 local and foreign firms to grow their business with or without legal entities under both project-based or indefinite hire. After 1 or 2 years, clients had a good returns of investment to set up their own entities. We also continue supporting them with our payroll service and HR management system solution. We also refer to new clients by our ex-employees in different countries. Based on a 2019 research report by Lori Bassi and Dan McMurray, their annual returns on investment from using a PEO is 27.2%. This 27.2% estimate is based on calculating cost savings for a PEO clients in the following 5 HR-related areas: HR personnel costs, health benefits, workers' compensation, unemployment insurance, and other external expenditures in areas related directly to HR service. A PEO EOR can help you achieve better revenue growth and profitability, improve HR policy and practice, employees' work environment and satisfaction, and business ability to focus on factors that drive business success. So that's the end of the sharing today. If you would like to know more details of our PEO service, or you need our assistance for your expense plan, please contact us at ayp@ayp-group.com or call our hotline at 6820-8200. Thank you very much for your time today, and we look forward to doing business with you for years to come. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you so much for that very informative presentation, Zoe. I'm sure we all have some takeaways from this presentation. We had a numbers of questions that came in during the presentation, which we have yet to answer. Therefore, for the next part of this session, we will be taking and answering your questions. As you may note, we have already answered some of your questions asked during the presentation in our attempt to answer most of your questions. But we have kept some general questions that we thought our audience may benefit from learning to answer to. So, hi Zoe, thank you so much for that presentation.
Hello. Hi, Jen.
O-
Hi, everyone.
mhm.
Thank you for
Okay,
joining.
all right. So right now, Zoe, I would like you to help me to answer the questions from
Sure.
our audience. And this right now, and let's go first from Jezra. She is the question is how salary can be processed?
All right. Thank you very much for your questions. To answer your questions, I would like to share with you that because we have different clients and different clients have different requests, so the payday also different. We have some employees have the payday is 25th, others will be 28th or last working day, and the rest will be 7th of the following month. So we have two different types for payroll process. So for those have the payday on 25th, 28th, or last working day. So usually, first at the beginning of the month, we will get all the payroll instruction from our clients, which is when includes salary changes or that employees have any additional earnings or commissions or allowance. So all the informations or critical inputs will be received by HR, our human resource consultant. So after checking, so those informations will be passed to payroll team for them to process. Yes, so our payroll team with the informations received from HR together with the reimbursement from our system, in-house system, Just Talent, so they will get reimbursement amount. So together they can run payroll for that month. So they will need around 2 to 3 working days to process and for payroll invoice or detailed reports to be ready for our HR to send out to clients. And those for 25th, 28th, and last working day, that's how payroll process. So another task will be for the 7th of the following month. Mean once employees already complete the month. For example, for this month, June, so end of the month, we will receive approved time sheets from our employees or maybe or clients. So from the approved time sheets, so we will know whether the employee work around 8 hours per day or half day. So from there, they will get all the information for payroll process. So yeah, we have two different tasks for running payroll every month. Yes.
All right. So that will be two process. And also
Yes.
in processing the salary, it will depend as well with the company itself
Yes.
because
Correct.
they have different types of salary schedule.
Yes.
Mhm. And
That's
you have
right.
mentioned as well, Zoe, that you are using a solution which is just salad.
Yes, that's our human resource management system. That's our in-house HR system. Yes.
I see. Sounds good. Okay, and also it'll only take 2 to 3 days
Yes,
for
only
completion.
2 to 3 days, working days
Mhm.
for payroll process and for payroll invoice to be ready. Yes.
That was fast, actually.
Yeah,
All
yes,
right,
I know,
for
right?
our audience, you don't have to wait 4 or 5 or a week or weeks before you finish your payroll. Here in our AYP group, we can process it by 2 to 3 days only.
Yeah,
Okay,
two to
thank you
three
so
day
much
only.
for that answer, Zoe, and clearing that question. And also to our question sender, Jezra, thank you so much for this question. All right, let's proceed with our next question from Chin Leonaldo. Her question is, what is EPF? Is it compulsory in Malaysia?
All right. Thank you, Chin, for your questions. Yes, about EPF. Maybe most of us don't know what is EPF here. EPF is Employees Provident Fund. So that is the collections of contributions by employer and employee based on their monthly salary. So for employees, since April 2020, so there is a change for the percentage for employees to contribute. So previously, employee will need to contribute 11% their monthly salary, but in April this year, so employee will can contribute 7%. Of their monthly salary, and employer will contribute 12%. If the salary is more than 5,000 ringgit. Yes, but the salary lower than that, so the employer will need to contribute 13%. Yeah, so the EBF, Employee Provident Fund, is compulsory for Malaysians employees, Malaysians the citizen, and Malaysians PR, who are working in Malaysia. Yes, it's compulsory.
All right. So it's compulsory with citizens of Malaysia.
And yes.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for that, Zoe, and also to our question sender, which is Chin. Thank you so much for that question. All right, let's proceed with our next question. From our anonymous attendee, her question is medical insurance is compulsory in Malaysia?
About medical insurance, actually it's not compulsory for employer to provide their employee. It's but it's recommended for employer to provide their employee, or can provide the amount of medical benefits that as long as the employer can afford it. So yeah, it's recommended, but it's not compulsory. Yes.
All right. Well, it depends on the business or the company if
Yes.
they can afford it in
Yes.
giving the medical.
That's right.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for that one, Zoe. Okay. For our anonymous attendee, thank you so much for that question. And let's proceed with our next question. Let's go with Jezra. Her question is, can I submit expense claim in different currencies?
All right. Thank you for your questions. Hello again. All right. For the questions, yes, the employee can submit expense claim in different currency. I mean, I'm sorry, we allow our user to do so, but we should check our employees to convert to local currency before they submit their expense claims. Yeah, and because all the statutory contributions like tax or employee provident fund contributions or others like employees insurance system, so those statutory contributions must be in local currency. So our payroll reports like such as detail report or checking report or pay slip all will be in local currency. So we should check our employees to convert themselves before submit their expense claims. For example, if the employee travel to Hong Kong and their expense claims all in Hong Kong dollar, then they can convert themselves by getting their exchange rate from the bank on the same day, then convert themselves before they submit the claims. And altogether need to upload the receipts because our payroll need to check the details of the expense claims.
Okay. So they have, and the solution that you are using for this one is also just talent in managing.
Yeah, trust talent. Yes,
okay.
That's right.
And it is connected with the payroll processing.
Yes, it's connected because our payroll every month they will check and get the records from our system, Just Talent, so they will know the details, all the data, and the total of amount that they need to process. Yes.
Sounds pretty handy. Yeah. So you don't have to do it manual, getting the report of your claims and then transfer it manually to the payroll just to compute it. So
Yeah,
it
that's
will be automatically computed from the payroll once you run it.
yeah, that's reduce admin paperwork or manual work. Yes,
Mm-hmm,
that's right.
mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So, okay. For the last question. All right. So from our anonymous attendee, her question is, can I pay employees in United States dollars, USD?
All right. Yes. You can pay your employees in USD as long as that employees also agree with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yes. However, because our payroll reports are in must be in local currency.
mm-hmm,
Yes. Uh,
mm-hmm,
like detail reports or checking report or payslip, because
mm-hmm,
all the statutory contributions have to be in local currency.
mm-hmm,
So the salary we receive by employees maybe in USD, but all the reports, payroll reports, must be in local currency.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So it depends on the company. If they want to um, give a salary to their employees through United States dollars or to ringgit or Malaysian ringgit, right? Okay. Thank you so much for that answer and then clearing that up, Zoe, and to our anonymous attendee. All right. So, okay. I think that is our last question for today, and we would have to end our today's session. Thank you so much for sitting us, guys. Thank you for listening to our presentation. And for the questions that are unanswered, please rest assured as we will categorize the question and follow up with an email. Okay, you may also email us if you have other inquiries. If you would like to know how PO services may help your businesses, you can email us at the email that we have provided at sg at ayp-group.com. You can also visit our website at www.ayp-group.com or with the Just Talent solution that Zoe mentioned. This is the solution that we are using in processing the payroll, the claims, and also the leave, also the digital tool one, which is the profile and timekeeping. This solution is very handy for your HR process. You can visit our website at www.justtalent.com/ms/. Okay, so thank you so much again for all of our audience sitting through our session, and we hope that it has provided you with an insight on how you can enter Malaysia using the PO service. If you enjoyed our session today, please feel free to join our next webinar session of this series scheduled on. Next is the Philippines, which is June 30, followed by Indonesia, July 2, and also the country Thailand PO that will be on July 7, and Vietnam, which is last of our series, which is July 9. Thank you so much, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you at our next episode of this series. Thank you so much, and have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.